Hello, friends. It's Katie, back with another episode of my vlog, and it's almost Halloween. Are you guys excited for Halloween this year? I am. Halloween last year was obviously a complete bust because of the entire global pandemic situation. And while we're still in a pandemic, I feel like enough people have been vaccinated, enough people understand the situation with distancing and masking and all of that stuff, that I feel like we really have a shot at a Halloween comeback this year. And I'm excited about Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. It is, as near as I can tell, like America's second favorite holiday, after Christmas, of course, but a very close second on that one. And I feel like lots and lots of people are getting really excited about Halloween this year. When I'm out on my run or my bike ride or walking around in the city, I see so many decorated houses and people going, to a higher level than they have in past years. And I really, really sincerely hope that that translates to more houses giving out candy to trick-or-treaters this year, because to me, that is the core important part of Halloween, obviously, if you're a little kid or a parent of kids. Obviously, adult Halloween is a little bit different. You go to parties and whatever, but I've been a parent for 15 years. I haven't gone to an adult Halloween party in at least that long because I've been doing kid Halloween for 15 years. But I love kid Halloween. I love trick-or-treating. I love orange pumpkin buckets. We have a collection of a psycho amount of these things at our house. We actually hang them up all over the outside of the house as part of our decoration, and it's just a ton of fun. So I'm super stoked about Halloween. And I really, really briefly want to tell you guys that we are still running the Kickstarter for Sean's Halloween book. It's going strong, but we need your help. If you haven't checked it out, please do. I'm going to put a link down in the description below. We have the Halloween book itself, which Sean is working on, but we also have a bunch of add-ons for the campaign, including some Halloween decorations like the banner behind me that's made of witches and devils joining hands to, increase the power of Halloween. And one of the other ones that we're super pleased to offer with this Kickstarter is our Halloween Jack jointed character, who's fully jointed and can dance all around and act crazy and get into lots of different poses. We've sold this guy for many years as a do-it-yourself type of item, where you have to put it together with the little brads, and even in prior iterations, people had to cut the pieces out themselves. But as part of this Kickstarter, we're going to have it be printed two-sided. This guy is not two-sided, and fully assembled with this stronger, not the brads, but the little, those little brass circles to put them together. So I'm super, super excited about that. But as with all Kickstarters, we can't make that happen without you guys. So please do visit the Kickstarter if you haven't yet. If you already have, and you've backed the campaign, thank you. But we could still use your help with sharing the campaign to other people. During this spooky season, a lot of people are feeling enthusiastic about all kinds of Halloween-y stuff. So it's a great time to share the Kickstarter and help push us up to the funding goal that we are trying to reach. So enough of that ad though. Of course, all of my vlogs are sponsored by Goblin Co. I want to talk more about Halloween and my excitement about trick-or-treating and how important celebrating Halloween the right way is to me and to Sean. We're both traditionalists, and we really, really like having holidays that have specific things that go with them, specific foods, specific music, specific movies, and specific activities. And of course, like I've already mentioned, the centerpiece of the Halloween activity for me as a parent is taking the kids trick-or-treating. So we don't live in the best neighborhood for trick-or-treating, unfortunately. And I know that trick-or-treating is on the decline all over this country. Even before COVID happened, it was kind of petering out and turning into, maybe people go trick-or-treating, maybe people give away candy in their neighborhood. It's turned into things like trunk-or-treating in parking lots, which is just totally gross to me. And my God, if you ask me, and I mean, you did because you came here for my vlog, it feels like people tried to make trick-or-treating safer by making it trunk or treating instead. If you guys have never heard the term trunk or treating, it's like you go to an organized event at like a shopping center or a church parking lot, and it's basically the kids go trick or treating, but instead of going around to houses, they go around to cars. And maybe I'm showing my age here, but like take candy from a stranger's car was like the biggest no when I was a kid. And it makes no sense as a safer option than trick-or-treating in your own neighborhood and going around to the houses of your literal neighbors. Now, you might not know all of your neighbors. I think a lot of us don't know all of our neighbors. And that's something that we should be working on in general, not just around Halloween. But even if you don't know your neighbors, this is a great way to get to know them. And I feel like the paranoia about like, oh, someone's going to put something dangerous in the candy is so unfounded. I think like I would say it's never happened, but it has happened in history. But it's actually really tragically been parents like poisoning their own kids' candy and trying to blame other people. So the kind of like urban myth of someone's going to put a razor blade in a candy bar, it just doesn't hold any water. And even if someone did something like that, like you would know where they live. So it just doesn't work for me. And really, I see the decline in trick-or-treat participation as just kind of like some laziness and like, oh, I don't want to bother. And, if you're not into it, I guess kids ringing your bell, for 3 hours and asking for candy is like, annoying. But again, it's one night out of the whole year. And it is October 31st, guys. Don't get me started on cities that try to have official trick-or-treating be on some other day. That doesn't make any sense. We have a system already. Let's do it. And let's do it right. Let's decorate our houses. Let's put jack-o'-lanterns on our front porch and light them. Let's put on our porch lights. Let's have a bowl of candy. And when those kids show up dressed in their costumes, applaud their costumes, give them candy, tell them happy Halloween. If we all do it, then Halloween is awesome, right? If no one participates or if everyone just allows it to become, oh, I forgot it was Halloween. Have you guys heard that one? Have you guys taken your kids out trick-or-treating and knocked on someone's door that left their light on but doesn't have candy and tries to tell you that they forgot it was Halloween? I don't buy that. Stop it. Participate in Halloween. It's not hard and it's a ton of fun. And if you're gonna participate in Halloween, which you should be doing because we can't let this fade away, like I said, you should do it right. So rules for how to do Halloween right. First of all, you have to have a jack-o'-lantern on your porch. That is the universal symbol of I'm giving out candy to trick-or-treaters. We once had a neighborhood association meeting years ago, probably 10 years ago, where I was complaining about how there was this big decline in trick-or-treaters. And I was like, come on, guys, let's participate. And one of my neighbors said, well, we should come up with some kind of symbol that means this house is participating in trick-or-treating. And I was like, that's a lit jack-o'-lantern, my friend. That's the one. The symbol already exists. All you have to do is play the game. So please, a lit jack-o'-lantern on your porch. You can go to Spirit or Target or wherever and get one of those, plastic jack-o'-lanterns that has a light bulb in it if you don't want to deal with an actual gourd and the mess of that. But it's part of the deal to go get a pumpkin, an actual one, and to cut it open and get your hands a little messy, getting all the goo out of the inside. And of course, roasting some pumpkin seeds to eat, which is probably my favorite part of the whole jack-o'-lantern deal. It's a whole thing. Just do it. I do give you permission to do the plastic pumpkin if you're too squicked out by the pumpkin guts, but I think you can get over yourself, and I think that you guys can do it. And I'm going to challenge you to do a real jack-o'-lantern. But the other thing to remember about a jack-o'-lantern is once you cut into it, it starts to rot immediately. So I'm walking around the neighborhood and I'm seeing people that have cut jack-o'-lanterns on their porches already on October 14th. And I'm going, ooh, well, I hope you like rotten jack-o'-lanterns, or maybe you like jack-o'-lanterns so much you're just going to cut them up twice or even 3 times. So to avoid the whole my pumpkin is rotting problem, we have a pretty strict rule where we don't actually make our jack-o'-lanterns until 3, maybe 4 days before Halloween. We usually pick the 29th as the day that we do our jack-o'-lanterns. And then for our family, the 30th is the day that we watch Halloween, the 1978 John Carpenter classic, of course, because we have to leave the 31st open for trick-or-treating, of course. One of the things about Halloween, the movie, that has always bugged me is that Jamie Lee Curtis's character is carving a jack-o'-lantern on Halloween as a Halloween activity. That always felt a little weird to me. Like, they should have had that done ahead of time. So do your jack-o'-lantern, again, 28th, 29th, that's pretty much perfect. If you can, get out to a pumpkin patch. Go support a local farm that's putting on Halloween festivities. You know, get yourself a cup of hot apple cider. Or maybe they have apple cider donuts if you're lucky at the farm. Do a corn maze. Get some pumpkins, you know, like do it up. Totally fun. If you don't want to go that far, get a pumpkin at the supermarket. It's fine, but you know, if you want to take it to that level and have a bigger Halloween experience, make sure you hit a pumpkin patch. They're super fun, and the people that run those places work hard and put on a pretty great event, usually. I try to go around to a bunch of different ones, but there's, you know, only so many you can hit in one season. So, and then on the day of course, let's wear Halloween costumes. I think it's weird when people don't dress up at all. And it doesn't have to be like a huge costume. I mean, heck, you could wear a witch bitch button and be like, that is my Halloween costume. But you know, it's one day a year. And part of the deal is that you're supposed to dress up in a costume. And part of the deal is that your costume is supposed to be spooky or Halloweeny somehow. This isn't just a costume party. This isn't just a masquerade ball. The deal with Halloween costumes is Halloween is the day when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead is the thinnest, and creepy things from the world of the dead on the other side of that veil can come through into our side of the veil, and they may be wandering the streets, and you wouldn't want just as, you know, a human to be caught out walking down the street when there might be, you know, goblins and ghosts and other sort of creatures out there. You want to blend in with them so that they don't know that you're just a normal person who's out there trick-or-treating. So that said, what should you dress up as for Halloween? Make it spooky. You can't go wrong. Witch, ghost, black cat, devil, a zombie, any kind of monster from Frankenstein to Godzilla. I don't care. A monster is a monster is a monster, and they're scary, right? A skeleton, a bat, an owl. It just should be something either spooky, related to Halloween specifically, or related to death specifically, because that's what this is about. If you or your child wants to dress up as something that is not spooky, like, you know, a ballerina or a football quarterback or a high school graduate, never understood that as a Halloween costume, but there are always tons of graduation gowns on the racks at Goodwill this time of year. You know, just make it the zombie version of that and you're covered. You did it. Now suddenly you're a dead ballerina or an undead ballerina, right? There's no reason to dress as something that doesn't match with the theme of the holiday. And that's not to say that you have to go scary, gory, bloody, whatever to have a good Halloween costume. There's plenty of ways to be cute but still fit the theme. You know, for babies and little kids, dress as a black cat, dress as an owl, dress as a bat, right? You can do that and make it cute. Dress as a jack-o'-lantern or a pumpkin, right? Keep it on theme for Halloween, but you know, you have so much to play with and still stay inside of that theme. And you know, I've had a lot of conversations about this with a lot of people because it's a rule that we've had pretty hard and fast for a long time. And we actually used to do a 2-tier Halloween giveaway at our house where if a kid showed up in a just whatever costume, we'd give them a piece of candy. But if kids showed up in appropriately Halloween costumes, we gave them a whole treat bag with like a mini comic book and candy and little toys and buttons and all kinds of stuff in it, because we want to reward the right action, right? So I've been talking to my kids about this, and they pointed out, you know, people just like to dress up. people just like to wear a costume and not be themselves. And I say, great, let's have more costume parties. Let's have more excuses to dress up as not yourself. But October 31st, Halloween, trick-or-treating, let's make it spooky. Let's make it Halloweeny. Let's keep it on theme for what we're doing, right? One of the other great things you can do on Halloween is, of course, watch scary movies. What we have done in the past is we split up as parents. Usually Sean stays home and hands out candy to the trick-or-treaters that come to our house. And then I go take the kids around trick-or-treating. And so he usually plays a bunch of old black and white horror movies while he's giving away candy, just to have on in the background as ambiance. And then once we get back from our trick-or-treating and we kind of reunite at the house, our family tradition is to watch Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi from 1931, directed by Todd Browning. One of my favorite of all of the classic Universal monster movies. We always watch it on Halloween as our tradition. There are so many cool Halloween and horror movies to watch at this time of year. We actually have a whole list going on the Kickstarter. Again, link down below. Please check it out. There's actually an activity calendar for the whole month that lists out a suggested activity, a drawing prompt for our Monster Drawing Club, which we're doing on Instagram, and a suggested movie to watch for the day, for each day. But we're just using it as kind of a general watch list. We're not necessarily following it to the day. The only specific day ones we do, like I said, is we watch Halloween on the 30th, and then we watch Dracula on the 31st. But there's plenty of other great titles to watch. We usually cycle through all of the old Universal monster movies just because we love them so much. We're actually going to go see Beetlejuice at the Academy Theater tonight. I'm so excited. We watched Halloween 3 earlier this month already. And we've got a bunch of cool stuff coming up, including like stuff that's more for kids and less, like horror movie type stuff. Like, of course, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Can't let an October go by without watching that. And a newer one, Over the Garden Wall, which was a Cartoon Network special series they did several years ago. It's 10 episodes, but each episode is only 10 minutes long, so you can watch them all in a row, and it's like the length of a movie. And it's not specifically super Halloween-y for most of it. It has a Halloween setting, but it's a great fall feeling, and the two main protagonists are walking around in their Halloween costume throughout the entire adventure. So that's a super, super, super fun one to watch with kids. And also Mad Monster Party, the great Rankin Bass stop motion animated movie from the late 60s. Huge, huge favorite for our family. So that's what we're doing for Halloween, which is a lot. But I'm always curious what other people are doing for Halloween. Are you guys going trick-or-treating if you have kids? If you don't, are there parties going on this year? Is it like, are we back to like real Halloween, or is it still kind of, drawn back because of the pandemic? Or I have no idea what other people's plans are. I just love to tell you guys what our plans are. Because I love Halloween. It's like I already said, it's my favorite. And we are, of course, Halloween is every day type of folks around here, but we make it extra for actual Halloween. So let me know what you guys are doing for Halloween down in the comments. Don't forget to visit the Kickstarter and share it with everybody you know. I was going to say any spooky friends, but it's the time of year where everybody's getting spooky. So please share this Kickstarter and let me know, like I said, what you guys are doing for Halloween, because I'm super curious. All right, I'll be back in a few more days with the Cinema Club Sunday Roundup, which is going to be almost all reviews of horror movies. And I will see you guys then. Until then, take care, stay safe, and thanks so much for watching.